Grindshine Recovery, guys. I'm gonna get back at it. Hopefully, be dropping a lot more content, guys. We're gonna talk about something I've not seen any prison channel talk about, any recovery channel talk about, and this is probably the most common drug in prisons, jails, whatever you want to call it. So let's get into it. So yeah, dip is a big thing I've seen at the places I've been locked up, the jails, prisons, and that's because you don't have to worry about smoking it, getting a lighter, all them things, popping a socket. You don't have to worry about any of that if it's just chewing tobacco. So that's why it's a big thing, guys. It's easy, it's discreet, and it gives people their nicotine fix. Guys that's smokers on the outside will buy dip up for sure. There was a time in my life that I always went to my PO with my suitcase packed, ready to go, had a can of dip on deck, because I knew if something did happen, and I did get in trouble or violated somehow, because probation, you're kind of at their rules, and they got a lot of rules for you. So, I always went prepared, and, that would have been plenty of commissary for me. If one can of dip equals, probably $100 in commissary, easy, depending on, how the market is when you were to be locked up. But that's why it's the most, common and stuff like that, guys. And, it's not a felony. That's the other thing. If you get caught trying to take subs into a jail or prison, something like that, it's a whole other level. It's the charge for the substance itself, plus you'll have the illegal conveyance charge. Normally, most institutions, they have bigger stuff to worry about, so they're not going to hit somebody with that felony charge if it's, a can of tobacco like that. So that's one reason it's such a big thing, guys. Trust me, I'd say in a lot of states, this is probably common across the board, just because, like I said, it's discreet as well. You got to think, normally, like, when I've got to smoke, especially in county jails, guys, when I've got to smoke in county jails, normally the whole pod's going to get shook down. They're going to smell the tobacco smoke, or, if it's weed smoke. I remember one time these guys, a guy came in, had about a quarter on him, and pretty much me and a bunch of guys in the pod, we just decided we were going to hurry, and, we rolled up 3 fatties, and we knew once we lit one of them, we were going to go down. So we lit all 5 of them, and because when you smoke, it just draws a lot of attention to you, especially if you're locked up. Even in prison, you got to realize prisons are a lot bigger, so it's a little easier to get by with it, but it's still a lot more noticeable than just something like chewing tobacco, guys. Funny story, one of the things that would show why chewing tobacco dip was such a big thing and why it was chosen over other things was because, remember my last bid, a guy got in with a quarter-ounce pot, and we all knew as soon as we lit any pot up in this dorm setting we were in jail, that, the pot was going to go down. It was going to get shook down. They were going to smell it. So we lit all our stuff at the same time. We had to pop a socket, which shuts down that circuit, and, in this situation, it shut down the circuit that had our TV on it. We had to use that socket. That was the only one available. But we knew, if we didn't do it, we weren't going to be able to smoke. This was just a freak thing that happened. This is how it goes down in county jail. If you do get lucky to have stuff in there, this is sometimes the way it goes down. And that's exactly the way it did. We popped the socket, we smoke, we barely get done smoking, and the whole pod gets shut down. They line everybody up in the front of the pod, start shaking everybody down, frisking them one by one. And after that, they sit us all down. We have to sit there. They go, rack by rack through everybody's rack, tearing everybody's stuff up, throwing their blankets out in the hallway. After they're done, you got to go pick up all your belongings, that they threw all over the floor like trash. And it's, we had to go through all this just to get by with smoking, a couple joints. And it shows, why people choose to have chewing tobacco as opposed to, roll-up tobacco is way more obvious. It's harder to hide. It's, it's just harder to get in, all the way around. Whereas dip is even more compact, I think, and you can get more in at a time. So it's a big thing, guys. Ain't heard no other, channels talk about it. I'm more of a recovery channel, but, I touch on, prison stuff sometimes. And for sure, chewing tobacco dip is a huge thing in prison, guys. If anyone's struggling with addiction, get at me in the comments, guys. We're going to have a lot more content coming a lot more regularly. I'm hoping to upload 3 times a week. Guys, y'all stay up and stay sober.